Welcome to the 5-Minute History Podcast from 5minutehistory.com, where we take a historical look at things in about 5 minutes. If you enjoy the show and would like to support us, please consider buying us a coffee. Head on over to 5minutehistory.com/coffee to see how. This is episode 85, The History of Greece. Let's take a journey through one of the most influential countries in human history, Greece. From its ancient myths and philosophers to its battles for independence and role in modern Europe, the story of Greece is one of resilience, creativity, and global legacy. The earliest Greek civilizations go back more than 5,000 years. Around 3000 BCE, people were already thriving in the Aegean region. The Cycladic culture developed among the islands, followed by the Minoans on the island of Crete. The Minoans were excellent builders, traders, and artists. They left behind stunning frescoes and a writing system called Linear A, which we still haven't managed to decode. Next came the Mycenaeans, based on the mainland. They adopted elements of Minoan culture and created their own form of writing, Linear B, which has been deciphered. These were the people who likely inspired many Greek legends, including the famous tales of the Trojan War. However, around 1100 BCE, the Mycenaeans experienced a collapse. No one's entirely sure why. It might have been war, natural disasters, or invasion. What followed was a difficult period in Greek history, often referred to as the Dark Ages. Writing disappeared, cities shrank, and large-scale construction stopped for a time. But by around 800 BCE, things began to turn around. This was the start of what's known as the Archaic period. The Greeks developed their alphabet, based on Phoenician script, and began to form independent city-states called polis. Each polis, like Athens, Sparta, or Corinth, had its own government, army, and laws. Trade expanded, colonies spread across the Mediterranean, and the first Olympic Games were held in 776 BCE. Then came the Classical period, roughly between 500 and 323 BCE, often seen as the golden age of Greek civilization. In Athens, democracy took root. Citizens could vote on laws directly, a radical idea at the time. This period gave rise to legendary thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, as well as playwrights like Sophocles and Euripides. Architecture, science, and art flourished. But there was conflict too. The Greek city-states united against the Persian Empire in the early 5th century BCE, winning key battles at Marathon, Salamis, and Plataea. After the Persians were defeated, tensions rose between Athens and Sparta. Their rivalry sparked the Peloponnesian War, a prolonged and devastating conflict that ultimately left all of Greece weakened. In the north, a new power was rising. Philip II of Macedon managed to unite the fractured Greek world, and his son, Alexander the Great, further expanded on this achievement. In just over a decade, Alexander conquered the Persian Empire, marched into Egypt, and reached as far as India. His empire didn't last long after his death in 323 BCE, but the spread of Hellenistic culture, a fusion of Greek, Persian, Egyptian, and Indian ideas, changed the world. By 146 BCE, Greece had become part of the Roman Republic. The Romans admired Greek art, literature, and philosophy. Even though Greece was under Roman rule, it remained a vital cultural center. Later, as the Roman Empire divided, Greece became part of the Eastern Roman Empire, known as the Byzantine Empire. Christianity became dominant, and the Greek language continued to thrive. For 1,000 years, the Byzantine Empire preserved much of Greece's cultural heritage, even as the political landscape, underwent significant shifts. But change was coming. In 1453, the Byzantine capital of Constantinople fell to the Ottoman Turks. Over the following decades, most of Greece came under Ottoman rule, which lasted nearly 400 years. Greek identity didn't disappear, but heavy taxation, religious restrictions, and foreign domination challenged it. Then, in 1821, the Greeks rose in revolt. Inspired by Enlightenment ideas and supported by Philhellenes across Europe, the Greek War of Independence began. It was a brutal conflict, but after years of struggle and international pressure, Greece was recognized as an independent nation in 1830. A constitutional monarchy was established, and Otto of Bavaria was made the first king. In the decades that followed, Greece expanded its territory, eventually reclaiming regions like Thessaly, Crete, and Macedonia. But the 20th century brought fresh turmoil. Greece was drawn into the Balkan Wars, World War I, and a devastating Greco-Turkish war that led to a massive population exchange between the two countries. World War II was no easier. Greece was invaded by fascist Italy and then Nazi Germany. During the occupation, resistance movements emerged, but the country suffered significant losses. After the war, Greece fell into a bitter civil war between communist forces and the government, a conflict that lasted until 1949. The next major crisis came in 1967, when a group of army officers seized power and established a dictatorship. This military regime lasted 7 years and ended in 1974 after a failed coup in Cyprus and mounting pressure at home. Greece returned to democracy, and a national referendum soon led to the abolition of the monarchy. In the late 20th and early 21st centuries, Greece made significant steps toward integration with Europe. It joined the European Union in 1981 and adopted the euro in 2001. The 2004 Olympic Games in Athens symbolized a proud return to the roots of the modern Olympic movement. But just a few years later, Greece faced a significant challenge. The global financial crisis of 2008 had a considerable impact on the country. High debt levels, borrowing, and structural weaknesses led to a severe recession. Bailouts followed, along with strict austerity measures. Protests broke out across the country, and unemployment soared. Although it took time, Greece has made progress in stabilizing its economy, though the effects are still felt today. Despite its ups and downs, Greece remains one of the most culturally rich countries in the world. It gave us democracy, philosophy, drama, and some of the world's most outstanding architectural and literary achievements. Even today, visitors walk among the ruins of ancient temples, hear stories passed down from Homeric epics, and witness traditions shaped by millennia of history. Greece is a modern country, a member of the EU and NATO, a tourist destination, and a cultural powerhouse. But at its heart, it's a place where the past lives on, not in a museum, but in daily life, language, and landscape. The history of Greece is not just about ancient glory. It's about survival, reinvention, and identity. A country that has faced occupation, war, revolution, and recovery, and continues to stand as a symbol of heritage and human achievement. Thanks for listening to the 5-Minute History podcast from 5minutehistory.com. If you enjoy the show and would like to support us, please leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. If you would like to support us more directly, then please consider buying us a coffee. Head on over to 5minutehistory.com/coffee to see how. You may also be interested in our other 5-minute podcasts, which you can find at 5minuteproductions.com. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.